Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Ultimate Clash and how you can beat Metal Cooler along with all the other bosses. Now I'll be going through all the other bosses after we defeat Metal Cooler, so if you need help specifically with those you can jump around 2 minutes ahead in the video and you should be more than fine. Now Metal Cooler is pretty tough. He multiple supers, he can evade your attacks, and he can recover his health. He is able to be attack load and defense load, he is able to be sealed, and he is able to be stunned however. But he is pretty tough. He's firstly very tanky. You're going to need a big time damage dealer. The big problem that my team builds faced here, and you'll see them in a short while, the final teams used. But the big problem that my team builds faced here wasn't so much surviving. Once I had him sealed, once I had him stunned or attack lowered, he was very easy to handle. But the amount of damage was a problem. And especially if you're heavily reliant on one damage dealer, you're then going to find yourself being in a bit of a situation where you're unable to damage him because he's going to evade your attack. So you're going to end up being in a situation where you're going to struggle because you don't have, multiple damage dealers. So definitely bring, I would say, 2 big time damage dealers at the minimum. And when I'm talking big time damage dealers, I'm talking, in surplus of 6-7 million with crit. The new LR, Goku, Trunks, and Bulma is a pretty, not Goku, Trunks, and Goku, Krillin, and Bulma is a pretty good option. But basically the strategy is pretty sound in that what you're going to do is you're going to want to seal him, ideally seal him, or stun him. If you can stun him, that's great. You can prevent his heal. His heal isn't huge like some of the other bosses, but it is slightly annoying considering how tanky he is. But your big thing is going to be sealing him and defense lowering. Sealing and defense lowering and attack lowering are going to be big components because it's going to enable you to do more damage to Cooler over time. Now, obviously, you need a big time damage dealer. My super team that you see here did a great job getting half of his health done, but struggled because I only had 1 damage dealer in the form of Trunks. You're also going to want to get your Dokkan attack. Getting your Dokkan attack sounds like something you shouldn't be getting in Ultimate Clash, but in this case you are going to be getting it. I would say you're probably going to run through 2 teams if you don't have high volume damage dealers. In terms of high volume damage dealers, we're looking at units like the LR Tech Vegito. We're looking at units like Strength Super Vegeta, although I wouldn't recommend them specifically here because of obviously time disadvantage, but I'm just listing off big time damage dealers. And yeah, generally speaking, those are going to be your number 1 options. A great unit for this fight that I have but I didn't use is the Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta, the one who has increased damage against movie bosses as well as can stun. So let's take a look at the various bosses and how we can beat them, starting with Yajirobe. So Yajirobe is immune to stunning and he can evade your attacks. Using the Team Bardock team here with a couple Cybermen should get you through the job done and enable you to be able to continue on to the next phase. Then at the end of round 1 you'll face Rilldo. Nothing too crazy with Rilldo either, a very straightforward, relatively easy boss that you shouldn't really struggle with, again being fairly simple. Next we have Nail. Nail has stun immunity and you cannot lower his attack and defense. Nothing else really too much here, and again nothing too crazy when it comes to your overall performance and being able to take him out. So a relatively straightforward time. And then finally we have Pan. Pan being obviously strength. AGL type teams will do well here, and again she's not too crazy being stun immune and unable to have her attack and defense lowered. Then we have Cabba. Cabba is the same with stun immunity and no lowering of his attack and defense, but he does raise his attack on his super and he can hit somewhat hard. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Generally speaking, you should be okay. However, I would make sure you have a health pool of around 450,000 to deal with this problem. Next we have Gohan. So Tech Gohan has a countdown to a big time super attack that will cause some damage to you. Sealing him will prevent this, and also he can evade and you can lower his attack and defense, but sealing him is the big thing. You're also going to want to be careful because his super attacks can stun you, so try and get your seals off before that occurs. Garlic Jr. raises attack on his super attack, he recovers HP, he can seal you randomly, and he boosts his own attack on his super. Stunning him is the number one option here, so make sure you bring some big time stunners. Buu Good, you can stun or seal, much like Garlic Jr. However, same with Buu Good and Buu Evil, they both recover a lot more than Garlic Jr. Buu Evil will seal you with his super attack, which can be quite irritating, so make sure that you stun him beforehand. And with Buu Evil, nothing too special on his super attack, however he does recover a ton more than the other bosses, so highly suggest you stun him up first. And then finally, looking at Metal Cooler again, you can see the two teams I used. You'll notice the tech teams took out around 95% of his health. I just got a little bit unlucky and just missed out. If I had brought another big time damage dealer like Tech Vegito, I would have probably cleaned up with the first two teams. And then from there it was panic stations as I tried to wrap up the final 5%, but eventually got it done. Ideally, you just need a big volumetric hitter that can throw out some crits and do some big time damage numbers. If you have that, you should be fine. Trunks on his own wasn't enough for the Super Tech team, which is why I kind of support bringing in Tech Vegito or someone similar to that nature. But that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.